This is one of my absolute favorite videos to make ever, for obvious reasons. Today we're going to discuss my 2025 wish list. As we all know and as we've seen with previous videos, I have a very healthy habit when it comes to my shopping decisions. I have an album that I create on my phone called Wishlist, and whenever I think of something, I take a screenshot and I add it to that album. And we talked about the benefits of doing that in my previous videos. If you are curious to know, head to my previous video and watch it once you've finished this one. I'm gonna jump right in because that's what we're here for. The first thing on my wish list is something that is actually quite unexpected from me. I never knew that I would want this, but it is this Louis Vuitton carry-on. I'm obsessed with it. I don't know why. I just think it's really, really chic. I have gotten to a stage in my life where I just enjoy really short trips every now and then, and a bit more often than I used to. So I feel like a really good carry-on is just such a good investment because I'm going to use it so much more and so much more often. I just want to elevate my travel fits and my travel looks because it's not something that I used to think about before. But most recently, it is something that I want to start venturing into. So I think this luggage is absolutely perfect. By the way, I have all of the photos on my phone. This is why I'm looking at my phone. Going back to what I was saying, I think this luggage is like literally, if you were to invest in anything for travel, I think this should be one of the major things that you consider, just because it's very timeless and it's very smooth. I've tried it in stores before and I was like, oh my gosh, the leather is absolutely beautiful. I just love it. I think it's just such a classic. Moving on to the obvious, I have been wanting this bag for so long. This is the Birkin 25 Togo leather gold hardware. Black color, of course. Not necessarily black, by the way. I wouldn't mind any neutral color. Obviously, it's been on my wish list ever since I started loving fashion, basically. And specifically ever since I delved into the world of Hermes. But I never really pictured myself having this bag. I just always thought like, okay, maybe I'll get it next year or maybe next year. I just in my head always thought there were other things that I was supposed to have before this bag, which I still think is the case. But as some of you may know, I have been taking my Hermes journey very, very seriously recently. And I really have my eyes set on this bag for 2025. It's also the year where I turned 30. So I just think it would be the perfect 30th birthday gift. And I just think this bag is like, it's just something that is never going to be irrelevant. Having said that, it's not like I just want this Birkin and nothing else. Obviously, it doesn't work that way with Hermes. I would also love a Kelly. Ideally, also black color gold hardware or a taupe with gold hardware. Just any neutral color, either a Birkin or a Kelly. I would be a happy girl in 2025. But obviously, if I had to choose, it would be the Birkin. Okay. Next on my wish list is another thing from Hermes because honestly, nothing hits like Hermes and Chanel and Bottega. These are my three favorite brands and I rotate between them. This Chandon bracelet from Hermes, I think, is absolutely gorgeous. I have been loving silver jewelry lately. I have always been a gold girly, like yellow gold. And most recently I realized that actually maybe silver jewelry would fit me more. I feel like it pops more, a bit more with my skin tone because I do have a darker skin tone. So I have been really into silver jewelry and I just love everything Chandon. And I just think this bracelet would be like the perfect addition to my collection. Another Chandon creation. This is the ring. I already have two Chandon rings and I thought to myself earlier this year, is it a bit too much? Like I already have two. Do I need to get a third one? And the answer was yes, because this is really, really special. This is like a really chunky version of the Chandon rings. And there's a chunkier one and I'm kind of like confused between both, either this one or the really, really chunky one. But I really love this one because I think it could be something that you can wear every day. The chunkier and the bigger one could be something that is a bit more special. And I do have smaller hands, so I feel like this would fit more. I'm obsessed with everything Chandon. I just think this ring with the bracelet that I told you guys about earlier, it's just so perfect. And I've just been loving silver hardware recently. I'll always be a gold hardware girly, like yellow gold, and that's never really gonna go away. Like my love for yellow gold will always be there and I will still always wear yellow gold. But what I want to do is incorporate more silver jewelry into my outfits, because usually if something was silver, I would just never buy it or never gravitate towards it. And most recently I realized that it's actually really, really cool. Next is this scarf from Hermes. This is in the size 90. I also love a 70, but I think 90 is a bit more versatile because you can wear it on your head, you can wear it as a top, you can wear it above like a white t-shirt. I never thought I would be the girl to wear scarves because I think it's very like mature. But what I realized recently is there are so many fun and like edgy ways to style a scarf, specifically a colorful scarf. If you know me, my wardrobe lacks color. I just hate to wear color. I don't like anything that's like not black or white or beige or gray. I just think these colors suit me a bit more because they're more muted. So I think having like a really colorful scarf would fix the fact that I don't have so much color in my wardrobe. And I just think it just would elevate so many fits for the summer. Like imagine this specific one as a top with like a pair of white pants over a t-shirt, and then you can just tie it, or on your head with like a really cool pair of sunnies. I think it's just so versatile. There's a multitude of ways you can wear it. Obviously you can also tie it around the bag. I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's a must if you want a really timeless classic wardrobe. I feel like a silk scarf like this is just one of the things that you must have, and one of the things that you think you're never really gonna wear so much, but you end up wearing so much. Next is this bag from Chanel. I was on their website the other day, just not really looking to buy anything, because ever since I bought the classic flap, I feel like I have the best of the best from Chanel. But when I saw this bag, I was like, oh my god, this is a perfect everyday bag. As you can probably tell by the photo, the leather is not lambskin. It's like a thicker leather, so I feel like it's very durable. The strap is art. I love Chanel straps. I think it's just very signature to Chanel, and it just adds such elegance to any outfit just by adding the strap on like your shoulders. And I love the little CC logo on the front, and I just love how big and slouchy and cool it is. What I love about Chanel as a brand specifically is that they're able to marry being very chic and ladylike with actually being so cool and rock and roll very well. So it's not really easy to marry these two things because it's like so different. But what Chanel does best is marry both. This is kind of like very much my style, like being very ladylike, but at the same time having like a really cool, edgy feel to all of my outfits and all of my looks. So this is one of the reasons why I just absolutely love Chanel. Next is this pair of heels from Saint Laurent. I have been thinking about these for actually 2 years. Obviously, these are like heels that you can wear in the winter and in the summer, but mostly you'll wear these in the winter. And this is the reason why I never seem to really pull the trigger. Obviously, I live in Dubai, so we don't really have like a long winter here. And even if it is winter, you kind of wear summer shoes because it's never raining or cold. It just gets a bit cloudy. So I never really saw the value of pulling the trigger. Specifically these days, I'm not wearing heels so much. I just gravitate towards flats because I prioritize comfort. Obviously looking good, but also like comfort. So I just never really pulled the trigger on these heels. But this year, I feel like should be the year where I get those, because I feel like these will just never be irrelevant again. I feel like YSL does shoes so well. Every pair of heel from YSL I absolutely want, but obviously that's not the reality of life. So I just feel like this pair of heels should be like just the perfect one to just always reuse and reuse. And you always need a pair of black heels that are pointy and chic. I actually noticed something recently. My wardrobe lacks sneakers. I have a lot of open-toe shoes. I have a lot of sandals, lots of orange, lots of loafers, I guess, most recently now in mules, but I never have sneakers. And every time I want to wear sneakers, I have like 1 pair or 2 pairs, and I feel like that's so sad. And I was on the Hermès website the other day building my wish list for 2025, and I saw these and I was like, wow, these are absolutely perfect. They kind of remind me of the viral Miu Miu sneakers, which I wanted for so long, but I was like, I'm so scared to buy them and then really get bored of them, because I feel like with Miu Miu that happens a lot, where something goes really extremely viral and everyone has it, and then it just kind of like degrades. Mind you, I might get it because I think it's so cool and such a cool sneaker, but I feel like these from Hermès are a bit more timeless and they're a bit more chic, ladylike, and I just think, I don't know, I just really like them. I love the mixture of brown, white, and black, and I love the very subtle H on the sides. And I just think that, because usually I feel like wearing sneakers like downgrades an outfit. I don't know why, it's just something that I have. But I feel like these would actually elevate your outfit and make it look really chic, and not make it look like you're wearing an ugly pair of sneakers, if you know what I mean. Okay, this is something that I have not seen anywhere other than on Pinterest and resale websites. I don't know if it exists. I don't know if they still make it. I don't know if it's still a thing in 2025, but it's a thing in my heart. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I think it's one of the coolest pieces ever, and I must put my hands on it. I must have it. I told you guys I'm obsessed with everything Shandong, and I wasn't lying when I said that, because I really am. I'm obsessed with cuffs recently. Obviously now with the rise of cuffs, which I think started with the Tiffany cuffs, I think this is just such a cool take on cuffs in general, because I love the Tiffany cuff, don't get me wrong. I would want to get it in the future, but for now I feel like I want to focus on this one because I think it's so cool and it's something that not everyone has, and it's something that if you're wearing, like, it attracts your attention, like, oh, what are you wearing? That's so interesting, because there's so much going on, but at the same time it's really, really chic, and that's what Hermes does really well as well. Next is this really cool belt from Alaïa. I've always been obsessed with Alaïa belts, but I never really saw the value of like such a big chunky belt. I saw it on other people, but I never really like pictured myself wearing it because it's just really, really cool and edgy. And this year, the more I would put outfits together, the more I would wish that I had really a chunky belt. And I guess this is the year where I realized the value of really chunky and big belts. And I'm absolutely in love with this one from Alaïa, specifically because it doesn't really have a hardware. It's just a black leather belt. So I feel like when you're putting it together with an outfit, like let's say a dress or an oversized blazer, I feel like this belt could look like it's part of the outfit and not really a belt, which I think makes it so beautiful. I love how structured it is because it kind of like accentuates a woman's curves, which I think is always the chicest thing ever. So I love this one. I think 2025 is the year where Ralph and I perfect our home and find a home and make it like really nice and homey. Obviously, one of my goals for my home is to get so many timeless things that will stay with me forever. Like, for example, you know how our parents have things that have lasted them for years and years and years, and then they're able to like keep it, and then you're able to like give it to your children, etc. Because I feel like in the past things were so well made to the point where everything would just last, and I feel like in 2025 and most recently this decade, things are just so quickly done to the point where it's very rare to find quality and it's very rare to find things that will really last you. So one of my goals for our home is to just get things that I know for a fact will stay with me forever and that I can carry throughout the years. And this blanket is obviously one of the things that I want to get for our home. I feel like it's the perfect addition to any couch, to any living room. This color combo is absolutely perfect because I want this color combo for our future house. I might get the black one too because I really love the black one as well. But I feel like just an Hermes blanket in general, it's just such a good investment for a beautifully decorated and curated home. If you haven't tried it in stores, I would highly advise you guys try it because I love it. More home items because really 2025 is going to be the year. This Hermes ashtray is absolutely beautiful in my opinion. I love the color combination and I love the specific collection, the mosaic collection. I think it's really, really chic, and I just want to put it on my entryway table or like my coffee table above a pair of books or something. And that's exactly what I mean, going back to what I was saying a bit earlier. I really want things in my home that last. I don't want to keep changing things anymore because I have been changing things for the past 7 years, and I really want things to last, specifically when it comes to home items, because I feel like when they last, they carry sentimental value with you throughout the years and they carry memories with you. And I just think it's really worth it to invest in things like this. This is another ashtray that I really love. I love the color red. Most recently, I love adding colors to my space. Usually, I never used to be the person that would add colors to my space. Like my home right now, it's just lots of grays, lots of blacks, a bit of green actually most recently. It's just very toned down. Most recently, I added the art that you see behind me in red because I really craved color in my space. I have a bit more greenery most recently as well. So I've just been learning the value of adding colors to your space. It really elevates every space and it really shows your taste. I feel like this plate is one of the things that I really want in my home in this specific color combination. They have it in blue as well, but I think the red is absolutely gorgeous. We have reached the end of my 2025 wish list. As you may have noticed, it's maybe a bit more logical, realistic, and smaller than the years before, just because most recently I've been realizing the value of really choosing the pieces that you invest in and spend your money on, because it's very easy to fall into the trap of just buying everything that you like without thinking twice. And then a lot of times what I would feel like, I would end up with things that I don't really necessarily love, but I just bought because I loved them and I thought it was cool and everyone else was wearing them. And as you can see in this wish list, there aren't so many things that are like necessarily trendy. There are things that are a bit more timeless, things that are a bit more, durable, that are a bit more thought through, and I just want more of that in my life in 2025. Something else that I've noticed throughout this year and most recently is that I just have so much stuff. I have a lot of things, and not in a good way because it crowds my mind a lot of the times, specifically when I'm getting dressed, for example. Like I have too many shoe options, and I'm not saying that to brag, and I know that's a good problem to have, but at the same time, it just sometimes when you have too many things, like let's say you have 10 shoes and you really, really, really love 5 of them and you have 5 other ones. The presence of the 5 other ones that you don't necessarily like really love, but they're just there, will crowd your mind and really affect your judgment and will make it so much harder to make a decision. What I want to do more of this year is just make it so easy easy for me every day to get dressed and feel put together, and eliminate some options that I'm not necessarily a fan of or that I love. And obviously this starts with making sound decisions with what you buy. And this is also one of the reasons why it took me a bit more time than last year to do my 2025 wish list video, because I really wanted to think about it. And specifically, I feel like as I grow older, my choices change. Like obviously if you asked me last year, I would never have included anything for home. But this year my priorities have changed and my way of life has changed, so I'm prioritizing more things and I'm prioritizing more adult things, I guess. I am welcoming this change, and something that I love about human beings and something that I advise you guys to really like implement in your life on a daily basis is just, I love watching myself change and watching my decisions change. Like I'm a very different person than I was last year, and I think it's so beautiful to like take a step back and really admire that about yourself and be thankful for the changes that you've gone through and be thankful for where you are today, and also be thankful for where you were last year, because if you weren't that person last year, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. So this is like, I just thought it was a nice caveat to include, because I just think it's a very beautiful thing about human beings when your self-awareness is so high and so good to the point where you can like realize the changes that you've gone through and realize why you've gone through this specific change. I don't know, I feel like I'm going on a rant. I hope this little conclusion helped you form your 2025 wish list, because I do think it's an important mindset to have when forming a wish list or when making purchasing decisions. I'm gonna stop talking now. We're gonna have to see each other in the next video, hopefully very soon. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.